What's going on, everybody? It's Davey from the 80s, and you are now entering the Cinema Chop Shop. So park your ass right there. And while you're there, don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the subscribe button. Also, if you check the link below, you'll see a Patreon link. You click it, you become a member. All you got to do is try, recommend movies, music, and trailers for me to react to. Now, with that being said, we are here today with a spoiler review, but I got a friend here with me. Tell him what your name is. Tell him your channel. Plug your shit, my friend.
All right, so I'm Delboy from Movie Mash. My channel's over on YouTube at Movie Mash. It's the same as him. That's all I have to say. I've been on here before. Enjoy coming on your videos as normal, but today we've got a spoiler review and I can't wait to tell you what I think.
Man, seriously, because I haven't even got a chance to watch your review because it's not out yet. But before we get into that, my friend Delboy here has a organization from the UK that's really, really good, and they do some really great things. And I just want him to tell you real quickly about it. Before he starts, I want to let you guys know, no, this is not a sponsored video. We are just both shedding the light on an organization that does great things. Go ahead and tell them a little bit about the organization, Delboy.
A friend of mine from school, his mum died of cancer, and he's been doing lots of runs, like marathons, and he's raised £5,000 in the last year, and it's for an organization called St. Luke's. It's just for people to help people at the end of their life, to make them comfortable and more happier and the best they can and more independent. As I've looked into it more, it's nice, and it's not just people elderly, it's people who are young dying of cancer or any kind of ailment. So that's what that is. And he's doing sponsor runs, and I was trying to get people to see maybe if they could help sponsor him or just support the organization just by donating direct, even if it's 50 cents or 50 pence. Just quickly, what it is I'll have to read it out. It's to sponsor him, it's uk.virginmoneygiving.com/Gerald O'Sullivan, or it's St. Luke's St. Luke's .org. Yeah, stluke's.org UK. So that's all I have to say. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks for letting me plug that on your channel. We're not getting paid for it. I just thought it was decent. I was impressed about how much he ran. I don't remember him running that far in school, but all right, you know. But
yeah, but thanks. Definitely, guys, check that out. The website, he said it. I'll drop a link in the description below so you guys can check that out yourself. Definitely donate. You can help somebody actually change their life and make their life a little bit better, especially if they are going through something very, very stressful. Now, with that being said, we are here today. We have came to collaborate on a spoiler review for the show titled Them. Who? Them. All right. So,
us?
No.
You mean us?
No,
us.
Them. But
right.
You? No, them.
No. All right.
All right. So, yeah, we're doing too much.
Get out.
Get out. Right. No. So, which is a movie, which is something that they've been comparing it to. But it's all good. We'll talk about that. We'll get there. So, me personally, I love the show. I thought the show is a solid 9 out of 10. It's really good from beginning to end. I think they do a really good job at tying up the loose ends. I feel like every character in the show has a great conclusion, except for what's her name? Betty? Is it Betty? The white lady from across the street. Her story arc was the only one that sucked. I didn't like her story arc. Like, the conclusion to her story arc sucked ass. It wasn't even as satisfying as I wanted it to be. I was really hoping that she would have been murdered or some shit. Like, but it didn't happen. Like, she got murdered. She was shot, but it was just weird that basically she was killed by the milkman. It was so stupid. That was dumb. That was really, really dumb.
You know what I thought was going to happen to her? I did think right. Do you remember she stabbed him in the throat with that the corkscrew?
Yeah.
Bottle opener. Right. I thought, you know, that was pretty dread, to be honest with you. That's a bang straight in there anyway. So he gets out. They're in the middle of nowhere, and she's down some little hole. I thought he was going to get out, close the thing, and die, and she's going to be stuck in there. I thought that's what was going to happen.
That's what I thought too. I was like, I really thought that was going to happen. I was like, well, you're fucked. I was like, he locks it, he dies, you're done. Like, you're stuck down there forever. I really thought that was gonna happen too. But her story arc was definitely one of the most least satisfying in this show. Everybody else had a great story arc. Henry had a good story arc.
I have more story arcs that more who.
Oh, so who do you think didn't have a good story arc?
All right, so just what I was going to say about her is that I thought she was a really good actress. Now, I saw her on another TV show recently called
Are we talking about Betty? We're talking
Yeah,
about Betty. Oh,
Betty.
she's from Scott Pilgrim.
I can't remember that. So I didn't never. It was years ago since I saw it. But
She's the
there's a new
girlfriend.
TV
The only
show
reason I
called
know her.
Star Trek Picard. You know, what's his Patrick Stewart's come back to do a new show. I don't like it that much, but anyway, she's in it and she plays a dipsy little nervous little girl. So it took me a few minutes, and I'm like, big difference. She's a good actress, and I thought she did like, you know, when you hate someone or you really like it, they're doing a good job. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. That's what I said. I said she's so fucking believable. I hate her.
I have to say this. This is bad, yeah. But do you know what? Do you remember they was moving in?
Yeah.
And I shouldn't laugh, man, but I'm gonna. Do you know, like, they were moving in and she was all, oh, we have new neighbors, and they're all ready to, like, you know, and next minute the black people move in. And next minute she goes in her house and she nearly stumbles and shit. And I'm like, really? She was, the camera was shaking and she was, I was like, oh my God, I started laughing. I was like, oh my God, really? That was funny. But I know it's not a funny reason to laugh. But
Yeah. No, I get you. I get you. It seems like it's just like, to really look back at it and to think that somebody can really be stressed out about something as minuscule as your neighbors being
be like that in the house.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. It's so minuscule and it's ridiculous. Sometimes it gets kind of hard to believe that people were really like that, but it's true that people really were, you know?
That's the thing. I will get to that. All right. So, you know, her parents.
Oh, I wanted to ask a question about that, but go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So there's obviously a backstory there and there's something more to it. And we don't really know what it is. And the fact that there's not going to be another season on that, it felt like you shouldn't have put it in.
What was the point?
We wanted to know more at this point. It's not that I felt sympathetic for her. I don't know if they wanted us to feel that I didn't care because she's a bitch. But the thing is that maybe it showed why she's as bad as she is, you know, like how psycho, like, not, I wouldn't say psycho, but how evil she is. And is it that she owes money? Did she do something to disgrace them? Or did she marry someone they don't like?
I'm
What
gonna
is
keep it
it?
up. I think, I don't know if you caught it, but I think that her dad was molesting her, low key. I think her and her dad.
Yeah.
I felt like that's what they were insinuating, dude. Like when he was running the tub and he was standing right there, he was like, "Oh, so you want this money, huh?" Well,
and she was there. Yeah, he was like, looked like he was about to take his clothes off, wasn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Look, all I needed them to do was to show him unstrap his little shoulder pads, and I would have knew what was up. I was like, all right, I already know what time it is.
But
I know what time
still asks more questions, though. You say if he takes off his clothes, that means like that's the reason why she ran off. But why is it then the mum would be against her then? Because it's not as if he was hiding it as well. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay, so look, this is the conclusion I came up to. The conclusion I came up to was that he preferred fucking his daughter more than he did his wife. And she felt like her daughter was competition. And that's why when she came back, she was like, why did you come back? Like on some like, oh, well, we were better off. We were finally getting our little shit together. He was showing me attention. And all of a sudden, his little, I guess, hidden treasure came back. And all of a sudden, now he's intrigued again. Now he wants a piece of that. So that's what I think.
Maybe it's, it did seem like I did forget about him doing that. But the thing is, all right, say if you're right, and he goes upstairs, but he literally walked upstairs. The wife went, yeah, take off my clothes. I was like, there's no like hiding it there. He just went straight up. The wife. And I was like, I don't know. But the thing is, just say you're right. There wasn't enough to know if that's what it was, you know. And then it was.
If they would have showed him take off his little shoulder thingy, his suspenders, then I would have been like, okay, yeah, dude, he about to molest her, or he's about to, he's about to do it. He about to do his daughter, you know. So that's what I thought. I thought that he was molesting her. And honestly, I didn't give a fuck because her character was such a bitch. I was like, man, you know
that's the thing. Another thing is, I felt like we didn't get a nice little goodbye to her. Like, you know, we need to have her ask. I know what happened wasn't good, but I just didn't feel fulfilled or satisfied on what happened to her. And I did like her character to the point where, when I say like the character, I liked how I just wanted to see her in a bad situation where everyone would know about it. And again, like, it was just for nothing, and that was a big waste for me. Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah, her, like I said, her, I didn't point that out in my review, but when I sat down and thought about it, I was like, she had one of the most least fulfilling story arcs. Everybody to me had a really good conclusion, a story arc conclusion, because
I have one more. Her husband, he would disappear, and they
yeah,
were like insinuating stuff, and I'm like, all right, is it a gay bar he was at, or is it like some
yeah,
kind
he
of
was gay. He was gay, bro, because what happened was the guy, the officer was like, I heard you was hanging around in the bar that you wasn't supposed to be
Well, I
hanging
thought
at.
it could be a prostitute place as well for hookers
Nah,
and stuff.
they wouldn't care about that. They would
Yeah.
the time period was this. He could be at a bar and they could be racist as shit, and he could be having sex with black women. They wouldn't give a fuck. You know, the only thing that a white man during that time could do that would bring disgrace or raise people's eyebrows would be to be gay. And then
That was my first thing,
fact
yeah.
that his homie called him the little F word or whatever at the end, when he was like, you, and then he was just like, what? And he broke his leg, like, which was unbelievable as shit, but I'm just gonna say that. But anyway, I was like, bro, like, I get it, but like, there's no way in hell you gonna shatter his shin like that easily. Like, but whatever. Like, this is a show, I get it. But yeah, bro, he was gay. That was his core. That
But
was
again, what was the point in it? Because it went nowhere. It done nothing.
Well, the thing is, you've always seen him hold a bit of like restraint because he himself
Sympathized with them.
Yeah, he
You could see
sympathized with them
he
because
liked them.
he's an outsider. His nobody accepts him, the true him, the way that nobody was accepting them. Hey, nobody was accepting them. The show's called Them. Tight. Anyway,
To us.
all right. All right. So that was the way I looked at it. He always sympathized with them. And like he was never like too like irrational about it. Like the only time he did something was when he did the little fire thing, but that's because like, you know, he was kind of pushed into it. But yeah, dude, like again, like his
it just felt pointless. It led to nothing. It was about nothing. It was probably something to do with her as well. And because she was nearly running off with the milkman. So
here we go.
I don't know.
But the only thing about him is that his character is, I feel like they didn't make you care enough about why he was so hesitant, why he wasn't so interested in all the things. Like honestly, it flew over my head. I just thought maybe he just ain't as racist as all them. That's what I was thinking the whole time.
Too. I thought he'd end up defending them at the end. I thought he was going to end up supporting them and backing them up and standing up for them. I thought that's where we were heading in some way, because again, what was the point of showing him being that nice, you know? But
yeah, because I was like, the whole time I'm looking at it, and I'm just like I was just wondering. I'm like, okay, like, because I never, like I said, the whole time I saw him, I was like, okay, he's not really like, he don't really care like that, you know, like he don't really give a fuck, like, you know, that's what I thought. He just ain't racist as all them, like, or he's just not as racist as them. And never in my mind, in a million years, I was just like, yo, the reason why he isn't racist to them is because he's gay. Like I never would have thought about that. Like that shit kind of flew over my head. But yeah,
again, it wasn't 100% to me. Like, you know, there's a lot of people won't pick up. I did think the gay thing, but then I thought maybe.
So, okay, I think that one was okay. Look, that one was confirmed more than the daughter getting molested, because, like I said, all I needed was one thing to confirm it, and that was when the guy called him the derogatory term that's aimed at gay people, and he broke his leg in response because he was pissed off. That to me sealed the deal, because he was like, when the cop was like, I heard you was at a bar that you wasn't supposed to be. Let's just say you got lost and went to the wrong way. A lot of people get lost and went to the wrong place every once in a while, whatever that stupid ass speech he gave.
That's true.
And then I was like, huh?
Is that true over there?
What?
You Americans sometimes walk off and get lost in the wrong place all the time.
Nah, he was just, I don't know, that's just some stupid ass saying, like, oh, maybe you just walked into the wrong.
No, I know you mean.
No, but I was just like, what the fuck? And so when he said that, I was like, okay, is he insinuating that he's gay? And then what ended up happening when the guy said that word that's associated, a derogatory term associated with gay people, then that's when he was like, he broke his leg. I was like, all right, that confirms it. Now, like I said, going back to Betty, if Dad would have been like, come and get into the tub and unwind, then I would have been like, okay, yeah, he about to fuck the shit out of her. You know, and like you just hear splashing in the background and like, you know,
Just
all that crazy stuff.
I just felt like if you took all his part of the, his character out in that sense, it wouldn't have made a difference. There was no point to it. I just thought it led to nothing. It was nothing. It just didn't make it. There was no arc for it. There was no ending towards it. That was all. And I don't want to. I suppose there's no point talking for about 2 hours about a character that wasn't really that much. But it just bothered me. I don't. When you want to talk about ghosts and monsters and stuff, there is something I want to ask you. Maybe that I don't.
What?
So the monster, the ghosts, the spirits, the whatever they are. Yeah.
Which one? There's like.
That's what I was going to say. Is you remember the tall woman? The old tall woman.
Oh, a Miss something. Miss.
Yeah. Was it Abigail?
No, it was Miss Leanne or Miss. It started with an L. I know who you're talking about though. What about her? The tall one that traumatized the daughter. It was from a book.
Well, what I was going to say was, I got the old fella because we found out Mr. with the hat who looks like an Amish type fella. Anyway, the thing is, I got that, but I know obviously it's in par with what's going on with him. But honestly, what was the old woman about? What was her? Is it because she was reading a book?
Okay, so I think that everybody's fear was manifested from something a trauma that they experienced or something, something that it's either a trauma or something that they've experienced. So like the dad, this is what I noticed, and I could be wrong, but I think I hit the money on the head. Remember when the flashback scene that they showed with him sitting at the movie theater, which was the day that he went to the movie theaters to watch a movie while his wife was getting assaulted at the house. They were watching a movie with blackface where the actor was in blackface. And I think that's why the tap dance man was manifested. And that was who was his, that was his trauma that was following him. And then
I thought it was the mustard. Was it mustard gas or whatever that stuff?
No. Well, at first I thought it was him going crazy. And then that was something that he manifested during the war. But no, I think it's something that he manifested because he always felt guilty because he wasn't there that day when his wife was assaulted. And I think that basically him watching that blackface movie and basically the tap dance man was created from that trauma. And then the little girl, her experiencing all that, watching her mom going crazy and all that crazy stuff. And only thing she had was the book, I guess, to get her away from everything. I guess that manifested into her fear. And then the oldest
freaked me out.
Huh?
At the start, that first episode.
Oh, the tall woman? Yeah, dude, them long ass. At first, I thought she had on long ass washcloths. Like I thought she had long wash gloves on. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, she about to wash some mean dishes. But yeah. And then the oldest daughter hated herself. The oldest daughter hated herself, and she hated being black, and that's why it was manifested. I guess the white girl that manifested was who she wished to be. And then the mom was just getting straight up hunted by the dude with the hat. Like he was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna just show you who I really am.
Well, but that woman, what I loved, because I enjoyed The Conjuring and Insidious. And what I love about horrors, it's not like people like gore is fine, but I don't find it scary. It's just what you don't see and the silhouettes and the shadows, like what the hell, like as soon as you see it, it's not frightening anymore. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And when I was watching, I forgot about it being a horror. And the girl got up, and next minute this woman, like about 8 foot tall, well 6 foot anyway, started walking towards her. I was like, oh my god! I started getting a little bit of goosebumps. I was like, damn, Yeah. But yeah, as I said, I just wanted to know. I suppose it was the book, but I just I got the old fella because he's
the main guy, yeah.
But I was gonna say was the acting was good.
Oh hell yeah! The acting was great, and the fact that Henry is British, I didn't know that that was one of your boys, man. I didn't know. I didn't know
But
that.
when I checked, for people who are watching this from my town, he's Bashi. He's from Kensal Rise, Kensal Green, which is literally walking distance. Like the guy, he's real close. And I'm watching this guy thinking he's full on American. Didn't reckon because I showed you the video.
Yeah.
He's unrecognizable on
Yeah.
his rap
The video
video.
is so dark. Like the video that you sent me was kind of dark. I had to like stop it and turn my brightness all the way up. I was like, is that really him? But yeah, it was him. He was young. But yeah,
he was
man,
good.
he's a rapper. That's crazy. Like, because I was watching a video where he's breaking down the Tap Dance Man, who, in my opinion, is the freaking steal of the show. The Tap Dance Man is the highlight of this fucking show.
How did he open his mouth that big? Was it CGI or was his mouth that big?
I think that guy has a big ass mouth.
I was trying to look him up, but I couldn't find him.
Yeah, he's there. He's they have his
on
name. They have the guy's name.
And those teeth were obviously they were fake, but it was wow.
Yeah, it was, dude. The Tap Dance Man was the freaking highlight of the show. He was epic. And you know what's crazy? People keep on calling. Have you seen the damn show from BBC? It's called League of what is it called?
Gentlemen.
League of Gentlemen, and his name is Papa. What is it? Papa Lazaro?
I can't remember. But yeah, he had a kind of more Jerry curl type thing as well. He had the black face and the big tall hat, and he would talk in that is it Southern accent type thing, but he was evil with it too. Like he was like funny back in the day. I suppose it's still kind of funny, but I can imagine today.
Oh, I heard they snatched that off of YouTube already, and they well, not YouTube, but they snatched it off of Netflix. I heard it was on Netflix and they snatched it off. But the point is, a lot of people saying that the makeup reminds them of him.
No, but he was evil too.
Yeah, so
he was evil. Yeah,
so it's kind of funny. Like when I saw it, I was like, okay, I could kind of see that. And then, but also like, I mean, if anybody out there listens to black metal, I mean, the makeup design is kind of similar to that. But yeah, man, freaking the Tap Dance Man was epic. When this fool took that beer and was like,
yeah. No, he was good. The makeup was freaky. It was all kind of
they gonna stop taking from you, Mr. Henry.
I know that shiny makeup he had, and it was all kind of all over the place, like you know, and that like big mouth. And next minute I see him, he was looking in the mirror, you know, the rear view mirror, and next minute you could see his face in the back, and he went, he just his mouth went. I was like, shit, man, it's like Jim Carrey.
They played off of each other so well, though. Like you can tell that Henry, the actor that's playing Henry. I actually thought it was him. Nah, I knew it wasn't. I knew it was that frame. That frame was completely different. I already knew it wasn't him. But they played off because Henry has a big build, and the dude that
you notice he walked. Did you see the way he was walking?
Who, Henry?
I noticed towards the later half of the series, he was walking like this.
Yeah.
Did you notice that at all?
Yeah.
I don't know. Was that meaning he was changing? He was thinking different? Was he being brought down? Or like, I don't know. But yeah, he is quite.
I think it was just basically he was being possessed or manipulated by the Tap Dance Man. The Tap Dance Man was basically all of his evil thoughts manifested into a human being, and he's basically trying to get him to act on those things. Because Henry, throughout the whole show, is a pretty level-headed person. He's always like, you know what, we got to be better. You know, we got to just, you know, we just got to be better. But if they threaten us, you know, we're gonna be what we got to be. You know, and I'm gonna protect you guys, and I'm always gonna be there. So, you know, so it's just, you know, he's always a level-headed person. So then to see him start giving into his darkest thoughts, which manifested into the Tap Dance Man, it was pretty crazy, man. But like I said, he stole the show. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? It was, man, that shit was hype. Like every scene that the Tap Dance Man was in, I fucking was sold. I was in it 100%. And then even when he went and he was like, when he popped out, look, I didn't expect him to pop from behind that pregnant lady. Did you? When she called the guy the N-word and he was just like behind her, he just went. He just popped out behind her. He
I
popped
don't
out
remember.
behind her, and then he like reached around her and was like rubbing her pregnant
Oh shit! Yeah, 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 yeah,
for him
yeah,
to
yeah,
shoot her in the stomach.
yeah,
He was like, "Have
yeah.
you ever lost a Have you ever lost a child?" Like I was like, "Fuck, he gonna shoot her. He gonna shoot her." But it didn't happen.
Um, I was gonna. I want to get back to that in a minute because I don't want to go into something I think already.
Yeah,
But I wanted to say before I forget is the family dynamic between the four of them. I thought they were a great family. They seemed real. I liked the way they were together. I believed in them. I cared about them. Do you know what I mean? And it was down to acting as well, but the chemistry worked between all four of them. Um, I just wanted to say that that young girl was from. I didn't realize until later on that the girl was from Us. It was the little
yeah.
girl from Us.
Shout
Yeah, I
out to
didn't.
her, dude. She got man. She improved her acting skills so much because I didn't like her in Us. I was
I
like,
don't
damn,
remember
dude.
that
Like I could
much.
tell she's such an amateur actress, and I was like, okay, like I'm not gonna grill you because you're a child actor, but you could step your shit up. And then, but she did a really good job as Ruby in the show. She did a really good job.
The little girl was good too. The smaller one. She was
Oh
about
hell
the
yeah,
only sane one of all of them. You know, in a sense, like
yeah, she was, but she got possessed too.
Yeah, I
But
know, but she's just
cat in the
seemed to
bag,
be.
cat in the bag, cat in the bag, cat in the bag.
Oh,
Fuck.
man,
Dude, that was
I mean that that
hey,
that that stuff,
I'm not
man.
gonna lie to you. When I saw that parental guidance, that warning at the beginning of the episode, I was like, man, ain't no way it's gonna be anything like fucking serious. Like, I don't care.
Um,
I didn't think it was gonna be that serious. And then when they visited again, and I was just like, what the fuck? And I was like,
yeah,
don't,
I would have been
please
disappointed
don't.
if
When
they
she
didn't show her.
swung the bag, and I was like, fuck, please don't do what I think you're gonna
It
do.
started before then for me. You know, when at the start of the show, as I said, I said it on my review, which you'll see that I normally like Breaking Bad and Sopranos, and it normally takes me about 3 or 4 episodes. I like it to grab me straight away, and sometimes I'm like I have to fight through the first few episodes before I get into it. This one straight away,
Oh yeah,
straight away.
this
Not
shit
not half
got
an
me.
hour in, not 45. Straight away, I was
Yeah.
like, um, I knew you knew something was up with that woman straight away when she was walking. You knew something was up, right? And the things that she said, I was like, damn, this is bad. So she comes up and she's like, starts singing some, was it something cotton picking, Billy Joe?
Some stupid.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
some crap like that. And I was like, right, this ain't good. And then the baby crying in the background, and she goes, is that your baby? Obviously. And she goes, can I have him? And I was like, ooh, shit, can I have him? She goes, something like, I like little black bear. I think she said something like that. And she goes, can I have him? And she goes, my husband will be back in a minute. And she goes, is that the guy who drove off with the 2 little girls? She goes, yeah. And she goes, we. She goes, we saw him. Oh yeah, we saw him leave about half an hour ago. I was like, I was like, shit, man. I was getting like
She called her
10.
bluff. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I was like, man, this is bad, and obviously it cuts and it goes. So I'm now intrigued about what happened. I want to know what's happened. You don't see, so I know you're going to find out. And they go into this Compton, which is like it's a pure white area, and the colors of have you noticed a lot of films today and TV shows have got this kind of a saturated type bluish kind of pale color to everything. Have you
Yeah.
noticed that?
Yeah.
I'm a bit. I don't like it. I like it when it suits the film, say like Batman or something like that or whatever. But I was watching it anyway. The point is that as soon as I saw all the bright colors, I was like, it was just nice to see the
Yeah.
50s look, everything, the hair, the makeup, the lot. It was, yeah, I was just, it was such a, so I was all in. It was no
It even came
desaturated.
on like a honestly, like the title card, the them, that even came in old. Like it looked like an old grainy, like
70s.
yeah, like an old grainy 70s, like freaking
Like,
like
yeah,
what's
black
the word?
exploitation
Like a
film.
grindhouse film or something, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to get to that again as well. I don't know if it's too early to get into that grindhouse. There's something I want to say about it
It's
later.
not too early, honestly. Like,
All right,
I don't
so
want a super long video. So yeah, go for it.
no. I just didn't want to start going. All right, so do you know later on? I think it's episode 9 when which is a fucked up episode, by the way. Yeah, it's on Nerve.
The one that's visiting the man with the hat.
Yeah, back in 1817, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So, do you remember when they burnt the eyes out?
Yeah, and they blacked it out.
Yeah, and it went red. And it kind of freeze framed, and it went red. Now, for me, that wasn't consistent with the with this TV series. Just the look of it. Do you know? It just that wasn't the kind of how the TV. It's not a Pulp Fiction. It's not a grind. Even though you have them come up, I just didn't like that. I would have preferred that showed the back of their heads as they're being held down, and you see him doing that towards them rather than seeing that. I just felt that
like it's weird because
like Pulp Fiction. What's that one? Django.
Yeah.
Samuel. What's his name? Quentin Tarantino. It's just a nitpick. One more thing, and I it pissed me off, and it's a nitpick, and I probably shouldn't be bothered bringing it up, but back in 17 when he was on his knees and he called them you motherfuckers, and I was like, he wouldn't have said that. It's not that he wouldn't swear at them or say anything like profanity or anything. It's just that word wouldn't have been something he would say, even if it was around then. I think that word would have been around late 60s, 70s, maybe. I don't know for sure. And it just didn't feel like, because he was all nervous for it in, or motherfucker. And I was like, no. And then later on, Henry, he was there, and remember they were sitting him on the chair and they was beating him around and all that. And they held him, and he goes, you Peckerwood motherfuckers. Again, I was like, it's not consistent with your character to say that particular word. You could have said arsehole, fuckers, or whatever, but motherfucker. It just felt it was inconsistent. And then later on with the mum, she went to attack that teacher. She goes, I'm coming for you, bitch. And I was like, this is kind of a 90s feel. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know, it's just a nitpick. I was just like,
I can get that. And then I also get the scene where the mom said something like, oh, do I have to slap a bitch or some shit like that?
Yeah.
That part, I get you. That feels 90s. Now, the motherfucker thing, my grandfather was born in 1929, and he said motherfucker all the time. So
yeah, but did he say it back then? Did he say it like?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. My grandfather used a lot of fucking language and lingo and shit from back in the day, and I used to be like, what the fuck? I'm like, what does that even mean? And he would tell me like, oh, it means this. Oh, okay, all right.
But all right, we'll say like they did have those words back then. It still didn't feel like the kind of word that Henry would have used. He may have said,
if you want to be really nitpicky about it,
I know.
No. If you want to be real nitpicky about it, I would have went this direction. Why is it a Southern family, a Black family that comes from the South doesn't have a Southern accent? You could have went that route because her relatives that were in the neighborhood, that came from the South, they had accents, but she didn't have an accent. So I felt that was kind of weird.
I couldn't tell. You see.
Well, yeah, because you're from the UK, but yeah, so
I can tell like hillbillies. I could tell like the woman at the start was more hillbilly than anything else. Like, and but like I said, I just thought it was weird that they came from the South to LA and they didn't have not one accent. So I thought that was kind of strange. But I mean, at the end of the day, like that's just being nitpicky. Yeah, you know what? That's just being a bit spiteful. But it's just it took me out of the scene. That's all. And he was like,
I mean, the only one I get it was what she was like, oh, I feel like slapping a bitch. And I was like, I don't know. I was like, that didn't really feel that really. All right, whatever. I'm gonna let it slide.
If he said like Peckerwood, anything, but it's just the word or fuckers, but motherfucker, it felt like now you're trying
I can let motherfucker slide. Now that slap a bitch shit, like yeah, that's out of her. But hey, but when she slapped her and they played that James Brown track, I lost my shit. That shit was tight. The big payback. Ha! Dun, dun, dun,
Get down.
That shit was tight, bro. When she slapped her and they bumped that James Brown, I lost my shit. I'm not gonna lie. I started singing and shit, and then my wife was looking at me like, "What the fuck is
No,
wrong?"
the soundtrack was wicked as
Hey, the
well.
soundtrack was banging.
Tight.
Soundtrack
It
was
was good.
banging.
It's just some of them tracks where you already know, and even the ones that I didn't know, you're still kind of, yeah, this is good, like, you know. So
There's
yeah,
one song that Dr. Dre sampled.
yeah, I know the one you're talking about at the
Yeah,
end. Yeah.
and I was like, when I heard it, I was like,
Don't, don't.
yeah, that one, yeah. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, they're about to play Dr. Dre, and it slips my mind that this dude samples people. So I was like, oh, this has to be the original. And then when the track starts playing, I'm like, all right, yeah, it's the original. But yeah, so that shit threw me off when I first heard it. I'm like,
Don't. Yeah, no, it had the
yeah.
whole
I was
sample
like,
you
what
could
the
say.
hell? But yeah, that shit was tight though.
Jordan Peele.
Oh, he made a
He,
cameo in the show apparently.
as far as I'm concerned, it had his fingerprint all over it, even though it wasn't him.
Nah,
Do you know what I mean?
look, I do not want this to start happening. I don't want black horror films to automatically get associated with Jordan Peele.
I was actually going to say that because
I don't want that.
he has his own style, and it feels like if he sticks to it, that's the style he does. And now because it's popular, don't mean everyone else has to do it as well. Like,
It's just I don't want people. Look, man, I just don't want people associating Jordan Peele with black horror. I don't like that. Any black horror movie that comes out, oh, it's a Jordan Peele movie. You know, that sounds like that's the Jordan Peele type. No, we've been doing this shit for a very long time since fucking what is it? Ganja and Hass, fucking Death by Temptations, Blackula, fucking Tales from the Hood, Blackenstein, fucking what else we got? Fucking that movie Night, fucking Demon Night. There's so many damn movies, dude. You don't have to just like this shit's been going on for a while. You don't need to keep Candyman. You don't need to keep saying that, oh, well, this seems like a Jordan Peele movie. Motherfucker, Candyman in the 90s was like the first Jordan Peele-esque movie. That shit talked about social issues in a fucking horror movie. So don't give me, and it talked about slavery and all that other crazy shit. So don't give me this fucking Jordan Peele is the only person that does social justice / horror shit. It's been done already. Don't think it's exclusive to his name.
If you ask me, I've seen your review earlier on. Oh, I've actually watched your review twice. See how good I am. Yeah, I don't think you'll get an extra review for that. But anyway, because I watched it before I'd finished the season, and then I watched it after, so I kind of got more what you were saying. To me, it was a cross between Us, Get Out, Green Book, and The Conjuring.
Hell no. It's like, look, it has elements of The Shining, Amityville Horror, and Last House on the Left.
I thought Conjuring more than Amityville because Amityville was the house.
Conjuring from?
Because you know, like you have all these kind of silhouette type things, and you know these kind of old women standing. You know, the old woman, like you have the nun sort of thing, and then you got Poltergeist, the guy with the hat in the second one.
Oh, you're associating it with them. I'm talking about the movie felt. Look, the Last House on the Left element was the rape scene. The Amityville is the house that makes the family crazy, and then the Shining element is about also somebody staying in a haunted place where the demons, where the spirits or whatever mess with them, and then also the wife, I think her name was Lucky. She had an axe, so that's Jack Torrance all day, right? So just like Jack, you know, here's Johnny, you know, that's some Jack Torrance shit. So those three movies to me are the perfect blends of what this movie is. I've seen tons of people say, "Oh, it's like Us," or "It's like Get Out." I mean, I get it, but at the same time, I wouldn't compare it to them.
I just it had the look and the feel of it to me. But there was something else I was going to say was right. You brought it up just now, kind of. Now, after episode 6, I was loving this. I mean, like, this is like the best thing I've seen in fucking years. And then we hit episode 7, and then 8, and then I started losing my shit because what happened was the delusions. were going on too long. I was getting tired to know, all right, is it a ghost? Are they delusions? Is it real? Is it not? What was going on? And it went on for like nearly 2 episodes. And I was more interested in what was going on with the racist shit at work or outside with all the other things. In fact, I actually found that more frightening, what they were doing, because it was real. I found it more frightening what they were doing, and I was more interested in getting back. Do you remember, like, to give you an example, Henry was at work and he's walking down the corridor, and all the lights started following
Oh, and
him.
he had that flashback from the war, or
That went on.
the mustard gas thing.
That went on for ages. I mean, that just him looking around went on for ages. And then there was a bit where, do you remember the wife went round to that woman's house? You
Oh,
know,
and
the
then
other
she got the
black
dude's
woman.
legs cut off.
That kind of went on for a while, but then, like, so did she go to a house? Did she not go to a house? I know the other woman, was she real or was it a ghost? Was it, oh, because she was seemed to be in the mental institute as well. Now, the mental institute, she, the mum seemed to have the most. Obviously, what happened to the mum was, wow, yeah, and we didn't get back to that in a second actually, but what happened to the mum was horrendous, like, and people who's ever suffered something like that. But she seemed to have the most psychological problems. They all did, but she seemed to have it the worst. And she went to the mental institute. Is that what you guys call it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So she was in there. She escaped. She was fine. She was better. She was fine. Better.
Well, okay, so look, look, in a weird way, well, most of her
So,
thing,
I come to my terms, and now I'll go back and save my family. She
most of the
throughout the whole
idea of her
season.
losing her shit was because of the trauma she endured, and then also the trauma that the ghost was putting her through, the guy with the hat. So I mean, he kind of eased up a little bit because he was like, well, fuck, they're gonna fucking, he was like, they're going to basically lobotomize your ass anyway. So I'm just gonna go fuck with your family. I'm just leave you here to be lobotomized. And the last thing you're
Was
gonna
it?
remember,
Is Lombard? Was it that? Or I wasn't sure. Was it shock treatment?
I don't know, dude. I think they were gonna. I think that they're probably gonna lobotomize her ass.
That's what I thought as well, because the 2 holes on that woman,
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
other woman. I
So
wasn't sure.
the thing is this. The reason why she was the one that was able to defeat the man with the hat, I think, is because she wasn't weak and she actually had traumas that she overcame, and she had such a tough life that she was the only one. She was probably like one of his only victims that had the strength to actually say, you know what, you a bitch. I ain't gonna deal with your shit. Fuck you. I ain't scared of you. You know, like
I agree. I know what you're saying, but it just was just too quick.
I
I'm in
think
hospital.
I think it's because she felt helpless.
No, I agree. It's just, but she had it through the whole 9, 10 episodes, and it was constant. And then
No,
it
I
was just
know,
and
but
better.
you have to think about it like this. She had it in the whole 9 and 10 episodes, but then she was also like within reach of her kids, right? So she was basically the biggest threat to them. So her whole shit is just like trying to get it. And also you have to think about it like this. She was trying to come to terms with herself because throughout the whole show, we didn't know what the fuck was going on. I thought that it was just the trauma that her husband came home from the war, he snapped, he was mentally unstable, and she nursed him back to health. And basically I thought that okay, this is just the turning of the leaf. Now his wife has dealt with the trauma, and the husband's going to have to try to wing her back to health. So I thought, me personally, I thought that all the evil shit was conjured because she brought that baby from North Carolina and had him in the basement. And that's basically like all of her traumas manifesting into something inside the house and bringing in something because she wasn't allowing Chester to rest in peace. That's what I thought, you know, like that's what I thought was going to happen. But because that's what after the episode when they found the baby and then the skeleton and shit, and I told my wife, I was like, oh, see, like, you know, that's probably why this happened because, you know, you can't do shit like that. You're not allowing the baby to go to peace, like baby to rest in peace. That's probably why all this evil shit is happening, you know? So
Yeah.
I thought that was the manifest. That's what was manifesting all the problems. I didn't think it was like some 17th century Amish motherfucker like, that basically read the Bible and was like, and interpreted a certain kind of way. But
Um, I was just it's just I was just gonna say is I just felt like it was just too quick for it to be
I
just to
get
be
it.
bad. No,
I can see that. But my point I was trying to make. I think that the reason why it was somewhat believable is because now she's vulnerable. Now she's on the outside and her kids are over there and she needs to get from point A to point B. She's not there with them. So now she's like, okay, in order for me to save them, because right now I'm like I'm free from the fucking Hatman's terrors and shit. I need to get over there to help them. So I mean, I get what you're saying because I thought it was stupid how she was able to kind of not stupid, but yeah, it is kind of stupid that she was able to help everybody after she was just losing her shit. Like she
yeah,
brought the husband back, she brought Ruby back, she brought what the fuck, Gracie back. She brought all of them back from like out of their traumas. She led them back, and
yeah.
then she basically, but then at the same time, it's like she had the strength to do it
Um,
because of what she endured. She was honestly, she was probably the most prep person out of all of them in order to do that because
well, she been through fucking shit that
yeah,
I mean, what the husband went through was probably pretty bad too. We only touched on that a little bit, but it was enough for us to know there was a problem. I just want to say this before I forget. Now, I know you're probably not going to agree with me here, and uh, I actually think if you took the whole horror element out of it, it, it wouldn't have made a difference. Well, I just don't. I think it would have been still as good. I found what was going on outside and at work was a lot more in. I was more invested. I was more intrigued. And towards the end, with all the crazy shit going on, with the demons, ghosts, and all that, I was like, no, no, but what's happening outside? What's happening outside? You know what I mean? That's what I was feeling,
yeah.
sort of thing. And I thought
Because I
you
mean,
could have actually taken it all out.
I didn't think that. To be honest with you, most of the show, I didn't think that it was really any supernatural force. I thought they were just losing their shit.
I see. That's where I was confused with. I was like, is it real? Is it not real? Is it like a the illusion, or what the fuck's going on? Like this is what I
Because
was
if you
like,
really
and
think
then I went
about
to
it,
that.
all of them experienced trauma. Both girls, their mom lost her shit. Like she was crazy as fuck. They both, and then I think the oldest daughter watched the dad lose his shit, and then so like
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's passing on. Like,
that's
yeah,
trauma. That's
yeah.
trauma enough. And
Um,
then the wife experienced being raped and her
this is
son
what I
being
was
put
going
in
to
front of
say
her.
is that was we haven't touched on it really. That's episode, I think it was 5 or 6. That was some strong shit.
Yeah.
That was some strong stuff. So obviously we know about the cat and it's like when something bad was going to happen. You just know in your whole bones, and it was like it was the whole thing was tense. But when they started throwing the baby in the bag, I was like, this is just the beginning of it, man. And then she started. Well,
Spinning
obviously this
it.
is spoiler review. She started swinging it around, cat in the bag, cat in the bag. I don't know, is that a game you lot play? I mean, I don't think you play it with babies in it, but I don't know. Cat in the bag, cat in the bag. She chucking it around the place, chucking the baby around the place, and then I was like, they start raping her before they were looking for her, and I was like, no, 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 not that too, please. No, not that too. Now I'm wondering because I'm not from the South or anything. Were they just full on hillbillies? Were they opportunists? Were they the KKK? What the fuck were they? Or just
Yeah, they never explained it. It was just some fucking racist people in the South, I guess.
it's just the area you have to. Yeah, I suppose it doesn't really matter because it's going to be one or the other anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so I was going to say is that was some strong shit, man.
Yeah, my wife
That was
said
hard to
when we
watch.
watched it, she was like, that puts the Nightingale scene to shame. Like she said that was harder to watch than Nightingale. You know,
What's Nightingale? Oh, is that
Nightingale,
with Jake Gyllenhaal?
no, you're thinking of Night Watcher. No, Nightcrawler. Nightingale, the movie with the movie set in Australia with the prisoners. The lady that made Babadook, her second movie, the one I told you to watch.
I haven't seen it.
The girl that she's like a prisoner, like a slave prisoner, and she's Irish, and then like she said
Oh,
she hates the
oh,
British.
yeah,
Remember the scene where he's like, "Shut that fucking baby up," and then the guy, yeah. So
Shit, yeah. That
yeah,
was it.
so
Actually, no, your missus was right. It's that was bad, but
yeah,
this was horrendous. Like this is, if you think about movie history, you could put that up in probably the top 10, 20 of stuff, the really bad shit that's ever
yeah.
happened. Whether you're
Most
black,
senseless.
white, green, blue, orange, whatever the fuck color you are, any person that would watch that, even if you're racist or not, if you're human, that's just fucked up. And watching it on, it was realistic as well. It was like, it was great direction. That was really great. I mean, it's horrible to say great direction on a scene like that. That stuck with me. And the
Yeah,
cat in the bag. That just even her saying those words.
yeah.
Do you know what I
When she
mean?
started
Just
saying, I was like, "What
saying
the fuck does
words.
that mean?" I was like, "What the?" She was like, "Cat in the bag," and I was like, "What the fuck is she saying? Like, what the fuck does that mean?"
I do have an idea what it could be. My grandparents are from Ireland, and sometimes they have, back not now, but years ago, they used to have a lot more. Like a dog would have a load of puppies or kittens and stuff like that, and they'd be running around the place too many, and they'd have to get rid of them. And they would put them in bags of water or do stuff. It was horrible, like to think about it. Yeah. I know someone who put kittens into a bag, and it was standard. I was like, what? It was, yeah. Well, there's too many. I'm like, let them run off into the forest or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
This is, we're
yeah.
talking about proper country stuff like that, and
Dude,
it's
have
in
you
this
seen that
country.
documentary? Don't fuck with cats.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, trust me, some of them people over there would be fucked, but that's years ago, and it happened over here too in England. Um, I thought maybe that may have had something to do with it back then. Cat in the bag, maybe that's what the, oh, fuck knows.
maybe. I don't know, dude. That shit, like I said,
Um,
that shit was really hard to watch. But
Now there is something I want to say, and it's probably okay. Look, this is my opinion on something, and again, I'm not from the US, and I'm obviously white, and I'm not from the 50s. I know what's happened to black people back even up to today. But I know, especially back, so anyway, back in the 50s and before that, it was horrendous.
mm,
But what I was going to say is that, why am I laughing? Everyone was over racist. Now, again, I'm not from there, but I felt like everyone was stereotypical racist, but everyone. There was not one, maybe the husband, because he might have been gay, but then he had to be gay to be all right. I felt everyone was. There was one time, I don't know if you noticed. Do you remember when he went to work and there was a white guy sitting across from him and said, "Look, you better start writing because
yeah,
this guy will be watching." And he goes, "By the way, what's the whatever his name?" I was like, "Oh, all right, great." It was like a breath of fresh air for a second. I was like, "Oh my god, at least there's somebody that's okay." Like, you know what I mean? It just
there's
felt like they were there to be racist
there's a
for
reason
the
for
sake
that.
of it.
There's a reason for that, and this is what I think the reason was for. I think it was supposed to be metaphoric because for two reasons. One, if you tell somebody, if you once you walk up to somebody and say Compton, you're not going to think about white people. You're going to think about black people, right? And on top, so no, most people don't associate Compton with a white history, but
I normally associate that with Ice Cube.
yeah, Ice Cube, NWA, exactly, right. So to once you hear that and you see, oh snap, Compton was an all white neighborhood. What really? It was what black people didn't live there. Black people couldn't move in there. What? That's crazy. But the biggest thing was that it was supposed to point out the hypocrisy of California, New York, and all the states that people, black people fled to during the Great Migration, as they were labeled as safe havens. Los Angeles was considered a safe haven during the Great Migration. It was a place where you can go, you can move, you can live your free life, and then it's going to be nothing like the Jim Crow South, you know. So
Yeah.
So
You don't hear about, do you?
you said what?
You never hear about that. You never hear about California. You always hear about the South, don't you?
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
always.
Like I got into this really stupid. No, that's a story for another day. But anyway, so you don't really hear about those things. And the things is, California had those laws. They had things like that. They had certain restrictions. It wasn't any better. It was better than the South, but it was still racist. You know, so I think the idea was to paint the picture that there was no real safe haven for Black people to go to during the Great Migration. Everywhere you go, you were still going to experience racism because like I said from day one, there is no button, some magical button that you can push and just magically get rid of racism. This is something that's been taught through
Well,
generation
I
and
just want to bring up
generation.
about your Snyder video.
Yeah,
Yeah. Right. So for anyone who's watching this, you're my friend now, and I think highly of you. And I got pissed off, not just because you're Black, it's because of any reason. But you were doing that Snyder video about you didn't like certain things on the trailer. Wasn't it? It was the trailer
yeah,
that you didn't. Right. So you had people attacking you. Now people attack me over my video, but like coming up with the N word
yeah,
over a fucking video, over a
yeah,
fucking trailer, a video to a trailer of a video. Now, a lot of people. Now I know racism still goes on. Jesus, I mean, I know, right, of course, and any person, or white person who don't know, but I think a lot of people don't realize. I don't want to get too much into this, but I think a lot of people don't realize is that, oh, today it's different. And it is different today. I know, I'm sure it is different. But a lot of people don't realize is that that shit still goes on. Now, I like the way you approached that. You thought it was funny because he was so fucking stupid. Do you know what I mean? Sorry for swearing too much,
that's all good.
um, but I got pissed off because, first of all, I was offended because you're my friend.
Yeah,
And I was like, over fucking nothing. So say if it had been over something,
yeah.
do you know what I mean? Say if it was a serious matter, what would they have done then? And was it to say people are still at you over that, wasn't it? The guy still chasing you over it there recently, wasn't he? Or someone else was
One of those
over that
people,
trailer.
one of them followed me to my Snyder Cut review.
Yeah, so
But
I
look,
do get that.
it
It's
is
racist
wild
stuff.
because my shit is bad, but like my homie Jody gets it worse. There's literally a guy, I bullshit you not, that stalks his Twitter page and says that shit every single time he tweets something. It's nothing Zack Snyder related. He could put out a video and say, "Oh, the new episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier was amazing. This show's great. You should watch it." Da 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 da. And this guy comes in. Oh, you effing N word. Da 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 da. You
I
fat
suppose
N
maybe
word.
he's bigger anyway. He's got a lot of
Yeah, yeah,
subscribers, so he's
but
probably going to get that.
still though. And then even one
No,
time
I
during
agree.
a live stream where I was just in the chat chilling, watching a live stream, and then this dude, the same guy, fucking pops in on the live stream and starts chatting, live chatting in a little comment section. The same thing. You fat F you fat N word, da 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 da. And I'm like, yo, the dedication of this motherfucker right here, you know? And like, it's crazy, bro. He really has people doing that shit. And I mean, I had a couple of
But
people
it takes
come.
energy out of you. Why would you be? Oh, I couldn't be bothered. It's all right. You know what? I don't like this
It's
guy.
because these
I
fucking
told him.
people are
That's it.
keyboard warriors that wouldn't say that shit to your
They
face.
go up to their mum and say, "Mum, I was really brave and tough today, and I told them black people what I thought. Oh, you're my hero. Come upstairs, son, and I'll give you a back rub." I don't know. It's just not right. Anyway. The point is going back to. I can imagine how bad it was back then. It's just for me. I know what you're saying. It was
Yeah,
kind of
because it was overt. Now, right now, racism is covert. It's like under the radar. People do little low key, sneaky shit,
but
or
just
then
that
like,
thing
or
that
it's like
between you
behind
and
the
me just
TV. It's behind the
shows me.
screen of a fucking computer or some shit. Back then, they would say that shit to your face. Now, me personally, I've experienced that shit face to face. Me and my wife went hiking. Some fucking crazy ass crackhead looking lady pops up out of nowhere and starts fucking yelling at me and calling me the N-word for no fucking reason at all. Just random as shit. And I'm just sitting there looking at my wife. She's looking at me and she's like,
Maybe she saw your Snyder video.
maybe. This is, and it's crazy. This is way before I did fucking YouTube. Way before this shit. This is like fucking 8 years ago. It was a while ago, dude. And like, she just popped out of nowhere and said that shit. And I was like, bitch, if you don't get the fuck out of here, like, I was bad. But again, like, the shit happens, bro. And I think the biggest reason why they were probably showing how ridiculous it was is because they're just trying, back to the show, they're just trying to show how fucking crazy it is to think that this place that's considered a freaking safe haven was not a safe haven. They were still doing the crazy shit and adopting strategies from the South in order to
Oh,
do the same shit.
the real estate people.
Oh, that 20% shit? That's real.
Yeah.
That's real. All that shit is real. Redlining, the real estate
No,
shit, the
I didn't
military
know
shit,
about it. But
the
when I was
religious
watching,
element, all of that shit,
when I
everything
was
in the show
watching
is
it,
real. What's
I
up?
didn't. When I was watching it, because I never really thought about that. But when I saw it, as I don't know about that kind of stuff, I actually believed that actually was happening. I
No, it
actually like
is.
they
That
thrown
shit,
this. This was
I
yeah.
I I put money on it, man. The shit was real.
I
I can
believe
tell,
it.
like like
It's well, there's money to be made, and that's a, it don't matter about cars. It's like, all right, we can exploit this shit, so let's do it.
yeah, because if
You
you're
know,
the only bank that's allowed, if you're the only bank that's allowing loans to black people, then they're gonna have a ridiculously high interest rate. I can see that shit happening. I'm pretty damn sure it happened. And then on top of that, like fucking redlining and shit. But
um,
we've been going on for a cool minute.
I
Let's
just want to say last thing before you go is that despite what I said about the few episodes, I still highly recommend this show. I sometimes, I'm just me. It's just my own opinion. I still highly recommend the show, regardless of what I just said. It's just me rambling on about rubbish. But
yeah, because I
I
mean
would say
we
I
review
still watch it.
movies and we review things and we're not going to find everything's not going to be perfect. Like it's rare to find a
It to
fully
me, it
perfect
nearly
movie.
was up to episode 7.
Yeah, I got you. Because episode 7 was when when they found the baby, right? I believe
Um,
episode 7 is when they found Chester. Episode 8 is when she goes to the mental asylum. Episode 9 is when she the black and
it
white
was just I
episode.
felt what I remember from 7 and 8 was it's just all the delusions, but all the family was
Yeah, I'm
two
telling you.
hours.
Look, episode 7 is when they find Chester in the back and under the house, or he finds it in the living room. Episode 8 is when she gets put in a nut house, and then the family have to deal with that shit. And then the dad gets hemmed up in the basement because the people break into the house and hit him with the bat or whatever, and they cut his finger off. And then this is the thing that killed me. Before we go, I felt like Loki episode 9, even though it was needed, took the wind out of the sails.
We
It
needed
was,
to know.
yeah, you needed to know, like you needed to know. But the thing was, it took the wind out of the sails because episode 8 left on such a like fucking like adrenaline rush. Like these dudes are in the basement. You see them throw the noose over the back of the beam, and they're like,
That's what I was saying. I was more interested in that rather than the horror element of it. I was like, this is worse. This is more
yeah,
frightening to me. You know, the way they killed those two, when we were saying about the eyes, that was fucking bad.
yeah,
When
they
they
did
burn out the
the
eyes and they
they
turn them
basically
upside
brought a
down.
fucking they brought an element that's being they use that in a lot of album covers now. A lot of rap albums. They have shit where they black out the eyes for like, I don't know why. They'll take like a picture of like you as a kid and you're doing this, and then they black out your eye. I don't know. It's like a thing that they do.
No, I mean like the burnt out eyes when they were actually how do you
Oh,
see it after
yeah.
it? Yeah,
That
and
shit
they
was
turned them
nasty.
upside down and set them on fire. I was like, fucking hell, man, you
Hey,
lot
look,
are fucked up.
I'm not gonna lie. When they did that shit, I was like, these people are fucking retarded. This church is gonna catch on fire. Fuck.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, they're fucking stupid. And then my man made a pact with the devil. That was crazy. I low-key did not expect that kid to be a devil. Did you?
There was something off key about the kid when they found him through the whole thing. There was something off key about him.
Yeah, it was
Just
basically
found him randomly.
it was basically like God didn't answer your prayer like the devil did or something, you know? And it was like,
Yeah.
and then he basically kind of acted on your
I don't know if
weakness.
he was the devil, but I knew there was something a bit.
Well,
You found him.
I think they had something to do with like the devil because um
No, I do. I just didn't. I didn't know if it was the devil. I just knew there was something wrong with him. Something was up.
only time I knew it was something semi off was when, because all right, look. So what happened was this: when he handed him the Bible and then he pointed out that verse, the verse that basically all the slave owners used in order to justify slavery, which is a well used verse. They had Nat Turner preach that verse over and over to basically make slaves feel as if, okay, they're in order to appease God, you have to be a obedient slave. So, and then basically that justified white slave owners' reason for having slaves. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, so when he handed him the book and he read that verse, I was just like, what the? I'm like, damn, dude, I was like, this kid is crazy. Like, why the fuck would you hand him that? And then on top of that, and then I got confused because I'm like, why is he letting him out the jail cell? Remember when he opened up the jail cell?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I was like, why the
And
fuck did he
there
do
was more.
that?
There was kids outside. There was more than one. There was a few of them outside,
I was
wasn't
like,
there?
why the fuck did he do that? But then I thought about it afterwards. I was like, oh, he wanted them to
Yeah.
get captured so that they could basically put them to death. Like he wanted all of this
That,
shit.
that was pretty bad as well. The way they done that. The
Yeah,
eyes, and she pregnant as well. Like that
yeah.
was pretty tough going. But again, I recommend the whole show. I
Oh
really
yeah.
do.
Hell yeah.
Despite what the few bits and pieces that I didn't like it, it's one of the grabbed me. Nothing grabbed me the way that grabbed me. TV show in I
Yeah.
can't remember when, years
But before we
since
get out
Night
of here,
Rider.
I got one thing I need to say. If all these fucking people that read this LA Times article and they're like screaming about trauma porn, I want you to fucking go to your local grocery store. I want you to go to the fucking the meat counter and I want you to ask them to cut you off a fucking cow dick or a bull dick. And I want you to go home, get you a nice side of ranch, and I want you to eat a dick. Because I am so sick and tired of these people running around talking about this is trauma porn. Any people that watch this shit are fucking sick and delusional. Look, motherfucker, this is a fucking history lesson. These things really fucking happen. And if you feel that way, then you must feel that a history book is a trauma porn magazine. These things really fucking happen. This is not exploiting anybody. If you like now, if you were if the lead characters, if Lucky and Henry were two weak ass lead characters, then I can possibly agree with you. But they were not weak. They were badasses that fought all the way into the end, and they did not show no ounce of weakness. And when they did get fucked over, they said, "Not, I will never let this shit happen again." And that was one of the biggest character development plots of this story. So fuck you preaching this whole trauma porn line that you guys are pushing because a fucking LA Times article wrote that shit. You motherfuckers don't even read the newspaper. You only read shit when it's convenient to you. How about you watch the show and then you fucking decide for yourself? Because I really have people in some of these Facebook groups trying to discourage people from watching this show because they said it's trauma porn. Exactly.
All right.
Exactly. So fuck them.
Snowflake era. We're in the snowflake era.
Yeah. So don't fuck them. Don't listen to them. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So that's it. That's what we got. any last thoughts before we get out of here?
There won't be another season of this. It'll be a different story. Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me. This is an anthology series, so it's similar to American Horror Story. Every season will be
Fargo.
Have
you seen Fargo?
No.
I only watched it recently, but it's 3 seasons, and each season is a different story. Chris Rock is on the new one.
I never seen that.
I know, it's just that, yeah. Again, like, anyway, yeah.
So it's like American Horror Story, and every season is something different. So next season we're going to see something. You said what?
Is that good? American Horror Story.
Depends on which season. Some seasons are hit or miss.
Is it worth watching? So I was sometimes, and I see things that look stupid.
Yeah, dude. The ones that I've seen are good. I didn't like Roanoke. I didn't like Hotel. And Apocalypse was kind of hard to get into. So I don't know.
Would you recommend it?
I would recommend certain seasons. So I mean, it just depends. Like you can start a season, if it's garbage, just stop it. Because I heard a lot of people saying, "What the fuck? Which one?" I heard a lot of people say the Asylum season is really good. A lot of people say that the Asylum season is like the best season.
I might start watching it.
The first season is really good too. I saw it.
I know Jessica Lange is on it. That's it.
Yeah. Her old girl from King Kong. But
That's it.
yeah, so I want you guys in the comment section. Yeah, I'll put it in the comment section. I feel like people look at that shit more. In the comment section, I'm going to drop a link to Derek's channel. Subscribe to his channel. Also, I will drop a link to the organization that we mentioned earlier. That will also be in the comment section down below. Also, if you have not done so already, hit the like button and the subscribe button. What the fuck are you doing? And we are going to be out. So that's the end of the video. Let me know if you agree or disagree, whatever the case may be. Drop it in the comment section down below, and we will see you next time. Adios.
Yeah.